So as much as you might be fighting with each other at home, once you get outside the house, you're going to stick together?
That's what it seems like, when we fight and everything like that, but it feels like being picked on. We don't get picked on much like that, but if somebody's like giving them a hard time, it seems that if you see us fighting, that we're like two different people, and it's like somebody's like picking on him like that, I'll like stick up for him. I think he does the same thing for me too.
He's not saying anything. Do the two of you then, as brothers and sisters or as a group, do you come together and work for a goal, or get together and try to manipulate your parents in a certain way, or your other brothers and sisters try to get what you want? Oh, come on. Anybody do that?
I have at our house, I don't know, my parents trust me a lot, and so it's like, if Tricia's with me, it's, it's cool. But, she tries to, oh, John, let's go do this, and, like, okay, and I'm always the one that asks, It's like, Mom, we're going to go out, or can we go out here, and, oh, sure, if you'll be home at this time, and, and it's no problem. With Tricia, it would have been another way around.
So who has that special touch with the parents? Is there usually one of you that will ask the questions because they might get a little bit more done?
He does.
He's the one with the touch.
Well, we never really did a lot. He never wanted me around him and his friends, but
I do now.
oh, he never let me do anything with him. He used to go toilet papering and stuff, and he'd never let me go. And I'm kind of going through that with my younger brother now too. I know how he feels, or I know how he did feel. But now I get along with his friends really good. Since he's gone, I'm friends with his friends, so it's a lot easier.
Do you have a lot of the same friends? Yeah, being in the same grade in school, do you like the same people pretty much? You run around with the same people?
I can't really think of anybody that's one friend and not the others, really.
We have the same friends. Like we'll say, I only think there's one person that we have as a friend that the other doesn't,
Jennifer, Tricia? You have the same group of friends or different friends?
Pretty much the same group. We have a few different ones to each because we don't have a lot of the same classes, but...
But you never argue too much over, oh, I don't like that person, don't bring them over to my house.
No.
Nothing like that comes up too much. Well, that's good. What is the worst thing then that you have ever done to each other? You look back over the years, and you're going to say, oh, we've never done anything bad, but just let me know the worst thing that you've ever done to each other, just joking around or when you were really upset or whatever. Josh?
I never do anything bad to him.
Yeah, look at his face.
He gets mad and he turns into Mr. Tennis Racket or baseball bat, and he just starts running around with this thing and just like trying to, I don't know what happened. He's getting just to a rage and he goes nuts and he's just...
Better watch out.
I see Mr. Tennis Racket coming out today. Nothing that stands out in your mind that, because I remember, this has been a long time ago, you don't forget these things, when my little brother put bubble bath in my fish bowl. And there were bubbles and the fish were floating on top. And you don't forget things like that. There hasn't been anything. What about the two of you? You always get along that well? You've never really had to pull anything on each other?
We've had fights, but it wasn't anything that stuck out. When we had them, they were
Nothing
long.
that was,
Yeah.
nothing to like purposely make her mad or, like bubbles in the fish tank.
Nothing like bubbles.
No.
Anybody? Can't think of any good stories?
No stories, but I think when I was back home, when I'd go out with my friends, even just a couple years ago, I'd go out with my friends and stuff, and Heather would always try to bug us and just irritate.
the worst thing he could ever do to me was call me a name, though. It used to make me feel so bad inside. I used to try to make it look like it didn't bother me at all, but when he would call me names, it just... he'd call me everything, and yeah.
I did it because I loved her, though.
Of course, all in good Christian love, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break right now, but we remind you that the phone lines are open. You can call in with your questions. We're talking about sibling rivalry. I said I wasn't going to say that. We're talking about surviving with brothers and sisters. We'll be right back.
I was going to say, when you painted my toenails.
Welcome back to Straight Talk. We are talking about surviving with brothers and sisters, the good times and the bad times. And just before we went to that break, we were talking about some of those stories that you just don't forget that your brothers or your sisters did. And the way that it always is, while we were gone, a good one came up. And Heather, I can't believe you did this. Tell them what you did when Jimmy was asleep.
Well, I had a friend spend the night, and we painted his toenails.
Red.
Bright red, right? I bet you were just thrilled when you woke up.
Yeah, it didn't make me mad. It just kind of, it was humorous, but I don't know.
It ticked you off. You were yelling at me.
Was I really?
Oh. Well, do you hold things over, the head when you find out some things? Do you stick up for each other with your parents? Do you say, I might let someone know this if you don't do what I want?
What?
I used to have a bunch of things I could tell on him before. I'd say, I'm going to tell on you if you do this to me. And
Yeah. It's good to have every now and then, isn't it? A little bit of leverage. What about the two of you? Lowell, do you?
I can't really think of any specific story, but sometimes we break possessions of each other's. One will break something, and then we'll break the other one. After a while, it got expensive,
We have like the same deal with like food, if we're like
You buy them.
if we're buying something like that, and maybe one of us doesn't have money with us, and say, oh yeah, you can have this sandwich, and you go, and then like we'll said blackmail like that, and then you try to get get it for what you want, it's just silly.
Josh and Brad, do you hold things over each other's head every now and then?
We say we do, but
I have a lot of things I could tell on him for.
It's more or less when he gets in trouble. Well, if he get in trouble by mom and dad, well then he'll bring up something that I did that had completely nothing to do, period, with what he's getting in trouble for. But he'll start getting on that.
Well, he doesn't like to be in trouble by himself. It's
Yeah, he
always
has to-
good to
wants to
drag
bring
someone else
somebody
down
with
with you, right? We've got a call from Lima. Go ahead and let us know what your question is.
Hi, my name is Julie, and I wanted to ask the twins if they feel a lot of competition between each other because they're so much alike.
You compete a lot?
I think there used to be like he's been in more sports than I have. He was like in wrestling and track and cross country. I was in cross country before, but when he took it those seasons, he never went for it second year. He just did it. I think just to prove that like, oh, look what I did, and you didn't do it. Yeah, and he's I think grade wise from high school, his grade point average is a little higher. But I've taken some courses that he hasn't taken. So.
Oh, and harder
so there,
ones, right?
Yeah.
And no competition there. What about anybody else? You girls are close together. Do you have a little bit of competition now and then, or?
There's things that I would do that, made her mad a little bit, because I'm not a normal, I'm not going to say I'm not a normal girl, but I'm really not. I'm into like sports. I'm not into this. I've never played with baby dolls or, little Barbies or whatever. I was always into the more aggressive things, I guess.
Big trucks and G.I. Joes.
And she would get mad because, everyone would say, oh, Jenny, you did this and this. And, if Tricia, did something that she can do, no one would have said it.
So your interests were really different.
Yeah.
Any competition between two of you?
Not in grade.
No competition there, huh?
I won't agree to that. No, I don't know. I think that since I'm older in sports, just been a little better just because I've been older, have more experience, but he makes him work harder to make him prove to himself that he can be better than me or he's better than older people. I think it just helps him out.
He's helped me a lot in sports because I always had to play him. He always beat me, but not anymore.
But you weren't alone. What about the younger one going through school following somebody else? Do you get a lot of, Jimmy did it this way, or Jennifer always did this so well? Or do you hear much of that?
I've always been smarter than him. So.
TV.
No problem. No real competition in school like that?
Not really. For a while, we went to a Christian school, and you work at your own pace, so we didn't really have any competition. If anything, we did when we got back, but I blew her away, so.
She's very smart. But I always say she's book smart, but not common sense smart.
That's true. I'll have to admit to it.
So it all evens out in the end.
Yeah.